Hey guys, Morten Åstad here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you a record that I bought yesterday. A record from the 1990s by one of my absolute favorite bands of that time. A band that, well, I suppose they ventured into several genres, and some people may think they belong to one genre or another, but I would really claim that they are a multi-genre band. The band is the Charlatans, and the record that I picked up, yesterday on Saturday, was re-released on Friday actually, and I was very happy to see that my local record shop, Big Dipper, had it, and it was quite a bit cheaper than I had feared that it would be. And like I said, this is one of my absolute favorite records, not just from this band, but from this decade, the 90s. But before I show you the record, I thought I would give you a run-through of my Charlatans discography collection, or whatever you like. So let's have a look. It's mainly CDs. So in 1990 I came across a CD from a band that I nominally knew from having seen videos, probably on MTV. I think I already back then knew of the single Indian Rope. Indian Rope I bought on vinyl in April. It was a record store day release, a picture disc. Now, I couldn't find it today, and I think it's probably still in Denmark, where I bought it back in April, so I can't show you that one, but I will show you the debut album. This is, of course, the Charlatans, and this is Some Friendly, the 20th anniversary expanded edition. I think this is one of those relatively rare occasions where when I've bought a, let's say, upscale CD of an album, I actually think I traded in my old original, which I bought in 1990, unless it's lying around in Denmark somewhere, but I don't think so. I just remember that this band really... I really liked these guys basically right off bat, and they've been with me ever since. So quite a while of Morten listening to the Charlatans, I can tell you. They came at a time when we were sort of transitioning from, the 80s music and pop that we've heard and listened to, and this new music came out of the UK, which was allowed to flourish and bloom for a while. The Madchester genre of music, if you like. Now, Charlatans are from, the Birmingham, Dudley area, I suppose. Was it West Midlands? Sorry if that geography was a bit wrong, but things moved along fairly quickly in the world of music, and the Charlatans... or the Charlatans UK, as they were known as, or are still known as, in the US, because of the rights to the name belonging over there to an American band. They sort of had a mishap. Now, I didn't know that when I bought their second album, which is this one. This is one of my... This is another absolute favorite of mine. I didn't know that this album was considered a bit of a failure. Now, the Charlatans have released a lot of studio albums. All of them have charted in the top 40s, and they've had 3 number ones in the UK. And this was actually not just their debut album and first album and all that. It was also their first number one. This one... which is between 10th and 11th, didn't fare quite as well. Now, what is this piece of paper? This is a little bit of a personal history for me. This says Morten Andreas Årstad, Room 40. Yes, because I brought this CD with me when I went to film college in Ebeltoft in Denmark in '96. So we had a common room, and whenever we brought CDs in there, I made sure to put this in there so I could see, people could see it was mine. I didn't list too many CDs. Then came maybe one of their absolute best albums. This wonderful album, you can see, I think, although this is a UK pressing, you see that name again there, Charlatans UK. So Up to Our Hips. Things again went kind of wrong. Now this time the critics loved them. The sales were up. I think this one reached number 8 in the UK. I just read all this. I'm trying to remember as best as I can. Partly recorded with a bit of a dodgy input by their keyboard player, Rob Collins. He was sat in the car when his mate went in with a prop gun and robbed a convenience store or something like that, a petrol station. And he was sentenced for being accomplice, or whatever, no, to whoever robbed. And he got a prison sentence. In the end, he served, was it 4 or 8 months? And thanks to Walkman and some demos, and also actually his brother helping out, the keyboard parts, many keyboard parts, and some samples from previous recordings made it onto the record. And he played on screen with the band, I think the day after he served his prison sentence. So a great album. Then came maybe for once the perfectly normal album, the Charlatans. Great recording from what I've read and seen documentaries. Absolute great album all in all. Nothing too much dramatic happening there. And then during the recording of the next album, the wonderful telling stories, things started unfortunately to go quite wrong towards the end of the recording. The aforementioned Rob Collins went for a drive without a seatbelt, but with a fair amount of alcohol. He got thrown from his car through the roof, open roof thing, and unfortunately passed away. And this then was delayed, it came out in, he passed away in '96, and this came out in '97. Great album. It's just a pounding, amazing album. Great album. Moving along. This is a compilation. I bought it at a Danish record store chain that is no longer there. So Melting Pot, great album cover. And then we got next great album, Us and Us Only. And I suppose after this, because now they've been a Madchester band with the second album, I suppose they were kind of hit by grunge and the Madchester scene being either disappearing, being in limbo, or changing into something else. And with these last albums, they've been part of the Britpop scene through no fault of their own. But then that dwindled out, and I think they were on a bit of a hiatus, and then they did some fairly big changes in their sound. So another great album, this, but I don't think Wonderland and the subsequent albums necessarily have them up in the sort of stratosphere of fame that those early albums brought. But they continue to this day touring, and here is songs from the other side. All of these are on my vinyl wish list, by the way. This would be too if it had ever gotten a vinyl release. This is B-sides. Another fine album, and I thought this was an improvement over the previous one, Up at the Lake. Funny thing, this is their third album where the name of the album starts with the letter U. And then I think this was a bit more experimental with Tim's voice and everything. The Simpatico. And we have another compilation. This is the best of BBC recordings. Now we come to, I think, about 2008 with You Cross My Path. Another great, excellent album. This next one again marks, things that the drummer. At this stage, we have two original members left in the band. The bass player Martin Blunt, Mark Collins, the guitarist, joined the band after the second album. Collins, of course, passed away, and we, in addition to Martin Blunt, we also had the drummer John Brooks, and John Brooks recorded Who We Touch, and then he fell ill, and he did not join them for the subsequent tour, as he was diagnosed with brain tumor, and unfortunately passed away in 2013. So we have the last two studio albums for now. This is from 2015, I think. Modern Nature, a fine album, and this is probably the album I'm least familiar with. I haven't listened to it as much as I should, and it's already getting on a bit. This is, like I said, this is so far their final album. Different Days from 2017. Meanwhile, Tim Burgess has recorded several solo albums. I only have this one, Oh No, I Love You. So that was my Charlatans collection, as you could see, mainly on CD. I have that 12-inch of Indian Rope somewhere, and I also have this 2022 Greatest Hits release. This is the mid release. There was a double album and this triple, and then there was a 4 or 5 record collection, which was just a bit too expensive, and still is quite expensive. But if you just want one, I recommend this Head Full of Ideas, as the third record on this is called Trust is for Believers, which is a live recording. Excellent compilation. So, what was the record I intended to show you today that I bought yesterday? Well, as you remember, I showed you Up to Our Hips, and it has been re-released, and 30th anniversary expanded edition with a brand new cover. Now, I'm not entirely sure why they've gone away from this, which I thought was a fairly iconic looking cover, but they've decided to do so. But let's see what's inside here anyway. Did that sticker say anything more? No. So we have, this is a double album at 429 Norwegian kroner. That is not at all bad price wise. I'm really, this is really cool for me. I love this album so much, and I love them, and I you know, I spend too much, way too much money on records, but up through especially the last couple of years, I've really been wishing to get Charlatans on vinyl, which is possible as far as studio albums go. There are a couple of sort of from the late 40s, early 10s that only got vinyl release back then. They are quite expensive, but it's not impossible. So there we are. And I think you can tell that I really love this and really dig this band. So here we have the original album cover. So they're not trying to hide it away entirely. This is the recording studio, which I think is in Wales. It was recorded at Mono Valley Studios in Monmouth in South Wales. Now let's look at the vinyl. Here we are. Which I think is reminiscent of the green a little bit, maybe in the, or maybe not. Right, and to our hips on very cool color vinyl, in my opinion. So yeah, that was a brand new re-release of Up to Our Hips 30th anniversary and all that jazz. I really recommend this. Charlatans, amazing band from an amazing musical period. In my opinion, I think a lot of other people's opinion, especially from my generation. So yeah, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any comments about this, I would love to read them. If you want to click like, that helps my channel, and if you want to subscribe, that makes me happy. Hope to see you soon.